of Purpose.
Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to give a platform to you, the young people in this country, to be able to contribute to your country's development and be able to also discuss issues of your concern to make sure that your voices are heard to the stakeholders and solutions are provided to the problems that young people do face. Now, media and technology are one of the basic industries that we need for growth, and basically media influences and determines perceptions and what people do think, but also what people do. And we also understand that technology is one of the 21st century industries that if you're to make money, you have to be able to invest in technology. And today we want to look at how, as young people, we can utilize media and technology for personal growth, to be able to become better by utilizing those two industries and the platforms that are available to us. And we'll be also speaking to a number of young people to give us their perspectives on how they think that we can be able to utilize media and technology. Robert, welcome to Youth of Purpose again.
Thank you so much.
This is my second time hosting you here.
Indeed, and I'm delighted to be here once
Welcome
again.
to the show, and say hello to the viewers.
Hello viewers, my name is Mutiaba Robert Samogerere. I'm delighted to speak to all of us the second time, and thank you so much, Ivan. Nice to catch up with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Robert, basically tell us about media and technology. How do these two relate, if I want to understand basically the relationship between media and technology?
Thank you so much for that question. I want to lighten this for our viewers. People, whenever they hear about technology, they think of computers and things that are so big. But technology or computer is something that easier or makes easy a man's work. Even a watch is technology. So when we talk about media, is a social way of interacting, a virtual way, where I'm in Kampala, but I can call my mom, I can interact with my mom, who is in America, who is in India, and all that. So that is the media and technology for you. How can we use this to simplify, easy our work, also in communication, but also in the day-to-day work that we do?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how does it relate to technology?
So the media, of course, when we are using technology, as I said, that it is easier in making easy a man's work, it is actually communicating. Of course, we understand that the language of a computer is zeros and ones. So we are communicating to this technology through this media. In other words, media, it's a mean, it's from that media, a mean of communication. Yeah. Of course, with the technology, but also among us. I will give an example. Many of us are on Facebook. Now there is a new catching up media, which is TikTok. Whoever is not on TikTok, you are missing out. That is also media to communicate. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have many, Instagram.
And we also have the mainstream media, definitely. People watch TV, people listen to radios. We can talk about young people creating websites to disseminate information, and lots of more. People have created apps, their own apps where they do interact. There are lots of them. Yeah. So, Robert, to your understanding, how are young people engaging in the media industry, but also in technology? How much are they getting involved in these industries?
I should confess, since I'm also a youth, like many of you watching us, we are involved in technology than never before in the history, this 21st century. And no wonder why people call us that .com period or .com world. We understand, actually, some of us as we are growing up, we couldn't hold smartphones. But I've seen kids that are not even speaking, knowing how to use a smartphone. That is media. We all have, okay, we don't all have the TV cassettes, but at least many in households have TV cassettes. They're watching now UBC at this time, they're watching Magic, they're watching 24. All that is media for the youths, and we're engaging. Many of us have Facebook accounts. Many of us have now TikTok. So youths are involving in this. And as you aired out, many are inventing. Youths are inventing apps. Yes. Many youths are inventing different means to communicate.
Amazing. So why are there stereotypes in as far as young people engaging in social media? to say that people who are utilizing social media or people who are on social media are basically wasting time. They are gossipers. They are time wasters. You understand? Why is there that stereotyping if media can be utilized in a best way to deliver and help someone to grow? Why are there those stereotypes?
Thank you so much for that question. I should say it's because the perception we have of media and technology as youth. Many of us are indulging into this technology and media because we've not perceived it right. I'll give an example. Many of us have Facebook accounts and we just use that to gossip, just as you've said. We just use that to abuse bad energy and all that. Many people are on TikTok and they're using it that way. Maybe that's the only way they know how. But just as you've given us this opportunity, UBC and the entire company, to give another side of media and technology,
yes.
That is how you develop your personal life using the same. Give an example on how you can go to Google and ask for a place where you don't know. For example, Kingdom Kampala, where is UBC located? You have Google Map.
Yeah.
That is also a positive side of it. You can go to that Facebook. Many people are now using it to preach. Many people are using it for businesses. I've seen youths, Ivan,
yes.
that are selling their shoe, are selling their bags and all other businesses using WhatsApp statuses and Facebook. So whereas there are all those stereotypes, and just as you asked, what is the reason?
Yeah.
Because we have misused it. We are abusing people out there.
Yeah.
We are offending many people. We are hurting many people. That's what I can say.
Okay. So basically, as we said, that media moves in hand with technology. Almost you'll find that everything that we're using in the media is technology.
Surely.
You talk about the equipment that we use, now social media, and you can see actually even the mainstream media trying to utilize social media for communication and stuff. How can young people be able to position themselves right and also do innovations that help them to bring about technology that can help to ease life in as far as doing these apps is concerned? The person who is running Twitter is making money.
Surely.
As we understand that Twitter was now bought by Elon Musk at 44 billion US dollars.
Yes.
You under 44 billion dollars just for an app. So how many young people are taking up those opportunities to build systems of the kind that we can have an app that in case all these apps are off, we have an app that can still have these Ugandans interact and stuff.
Ivan, thank you so much. Now, my story, I may not come from a very big background, but I'm trying to communicate to a youth who is in far, maybe in Bra, who cannot access maybe that internet. And that's why I gave an example of a remote. Can you first understand what you have? Because after understanding what you have, you will actually innovate. You see, we must look at what is already provided, that we understand and see how can we better. I must confess that the first computer was so big that it couldn't be carried. But it is after those people indulged and see how can we better. Now we have smartphones, we have laptops that are actually plastic in nature or even glass. So this is my argument. Can we understand as youth, even when you are in Barara, can you understand, appreciate that little technology you have, even if a watch? Ask, how does it work? It will trigger you. You will think outside the box. How can this watch tell good time? When you think into that, you'll be like, oh, now I get it. You'll be like, how can I make it better? Can I have something which can tell time besides a watch? Are you getting my point? So can we first appreciate what we have? You may say you don't have a computer, you don't have a laptop, you don't have even a smartphone. Many have iPhones, you don't have. Can you go to that remote? How does it work? It will help you think bigger, wide, think outside the box. Then we shall come to the point of apps after looking at the opportunities we have.
Thank you so much, Robert. I think you bring out a point that is a very good one, and it brings about the answer to the question that I asked. Not just about having a phone, having a watch, and you don't ask yourself what's the technology that is used to make this phone. I think that's the competition that has been there between the US and China.
Yeah, true.
China just looks at something and they just do a prototype of the same, and they have their own product and stuff. And therefore, I think as African young people, we should also be doing the same. look at all those things, learn from them, do something better. And I think that can be able to basically help us to grow in technology. And at most times, there is nothing new that you're going to bring about, but you can only better what is already there.
Sure.
But that withstanding, we want to talk to a number of young people to also understand their take on how we can be able to utilize the media and technology for our personal growth, to become better and contribute to our country's development. Let's listen in and we'll be right back.
Youth of Purpose.
All right, my name is Katshabe Catherine. As a young youth, I believe that media can be used to develop us as youths. You all understand that 78% of Uganda's population are youths. And where we are heading right now, countries are adopting more technology and media rather than the informal sector. So we can use the media to curb so many factors that are actually attacking not only the country but also us as the youths. We can use the media to develop research. We can use the media to enlarge our understanding of particular aspects that are affecting other countries, that are affecting this particular country, and that are yet to affect us as youths. Now, we all understand that when we embrace media, we can be in position to further the growth of media itself, because you cannot let the growth of a particular thing unless you've got to understand how that particular thing works. We all understand that particular stereotypes have come up, that media has led to the growth of immorality. Our culture and our tradition is violated by media. But it is upon us to understand what we take in and what we don't take in. So it is my call to all youths in this particular country to use media, because until we use media, that is when we are going to understand our rights and our entitlements. That is the only way we're going to be in position to add value to this particular country and also to build ourselves as youths. When you look at the world today, each and every country or state is scrambling to be the best in technology. We can access data, and you realize that we can use this data for so many things. There are so many apps that are being developed, that guides us on how to execute particular tasks. As a person, I use 80% of my time, I spend 80% of my time using data. I research, I develop theories on resolution of particular tasks. Now you realize I know of a guy who developed an app that teaches one their rights and how that particular right can be violated and what recourse, or rather what remedy does a person have in case that particular right is violated. Now if you look at such a circumstance as a youth, you can use these apps to develop your mind. For example, Uganda is an agricultural state. We need rather so many assets or equipment to develop the agricultural sector that we majorly depend on. And that cannot happen unless we borrow ideas that we shall later on beat at those that actually came up with these particular ideas. So we are supposed to borrow the knowledge as far as these apps are concerned. We are supposed to borrow ideas from other developed states, and that cannot happen in the informal sector. That cannot happen unless we embrace the technology that has been developed by our colleagues in other countries. Now, we the youths, we use that majority of our time on TikTok. We spend most of our time on Snapchat, and we use all these assets for our own entertainment. Imagine if we can use this particular information to build our country. There is knowledge as far as Bitcoin is concerned. This is an electronic currency. But who has taken enough time to understand how this currency works? Who has taken enough time to learn how transactions take place, electronic ones? Who has taken enough time to understand how an agricultural state can transit from the agricultural sector to the industrial sector, beginning with us as youths, using this information online that is availed for free as long as you can access data.
Great, welcome back. And I think you have been able to learn a thing from what these fellow youths have been talking about in as far as media and technology and how we can utilize the two for our personal growth. So, coming back to you, Robert.
Yes, Ivan.
Do you think the government is investing enough in making sure that the young people who do innovations, we have seen a lot of young people do a number of innovations and inventions, but how much support do they get from the government to make sure that their dreams can come true? But also when it comes to, for example, the education system, how much are the institutions of learning embracing technology and not just embracing it, but practicing it to live out these things of just doing theory? And my idea, for example, would be on how schools can be able to embrace STEM. STEM is a bit expensive, for example, for schools and government schools, even private schools actually. There are few schools that are practicing it. So how do you think government can be able to support the young people to embrace technology, but also for us to be able to put away the stereotyping because of how we are misusing maybe social media and all that?
I should state categorically that how has the government done enough? I should appreciate that the government has done something. But the question of being enough is the results that have been yielded. I want to thank the government, even UCC under that umbrella. I've seen it supporting the movie industry. I've seen it supporting different media. We usually add UBC, but we have different medias per se. So it has done something. I've seen the president meeting up different people that have come up with innovations. But the question is, we no longer see them. It dies out somewhere. So that's why I told you, well, as we appreciate the government for the work well done, we also recommend that there is much more that needs to be done. For example, men have come up, or youths have come up with these innovations, but it dies out of that blue. I've seen many interviews, even on UBC here, where youths need to say, I only need these dollars to complete this.
We had young engineers. There is a group of young people. They are called young engineers. They are practicing and doing STEM. And there is an organization that is helping them to train in STEM. But they were going for a competition abroad and they were not having funds to be able to get tickets to move out.
Can you imagine?
And they were contributing from people, asking for contributions from people. So if such kind of young people cannot be supported to go out and compete, because it's through those competitions that these young people are able to become better at exactly what they are doing.
So yeah, that's why I pick it up from, to say that the government need to come out. And when we say this, we look at the judiciary, executive, and maybe the legislature. But we're talking about even the civil servants, you see. How can the government help? Maybe adding on the budget of technology, because the budget is not enough. Can we also prioritize technology under the Ministry of Technology and all that? So we can also come up with this. And let me tell you, Ivan, it is not hard. It is easy. If there is any youth that has come on board, you watch this on TVs, see them out. That's why they come to be heard. Get them on board, sit with them down. And at times, these are some monies we can also ask our parliament to do as supplementary to up these invasions. And guess what? They will take our countries better. Ivan, you asked about the schools on embracing the technology. I should confess that universities are picking up. But the question is on maybe the primary schools and the secondary schools. We understand that we may have private schools more than the government. And maybe even those governments may not have the budget to support the same. But my partake is, it doesn't at first require a lot. It begins with these discussions. Can we have a team to train these people? Can we have a team, or even computer libraries? Can we have them in school? Even if they are 1 or 2, let's first begin from there and embrace this technology, because we cannot hide away from it. When we do that, our education system is getting better and better. For example, even education, Minister of Education said senior ones need to use phones. Can we allow phones so that we use them, train these people? For example, how can you use a text How can you draft a document
Yes,
using
or
your
a
phone?
I think you saw how young people are being challenged during lockdown.
Yeah.
When studies were being carried online. Someone has a phone, but they don't know even how to get on Zoom, how to share screen and all that using their phone. It was very hard. Someone has been using a phone for more than 5 years, but they cannot utilize it for a presentation or to even have a Zoom meeting. It was very hard. Yeah.
So that is it. That's what we're talking about. Schools, come on board. Private schools, it's not hard. I understand the budget may be that straining, but can we begin these conversations? Can we have those computers, even if it's one?
Yes.
Have those trainings. Get these phones. People have phones. Tell them you can use these phones in 1 hour. That is my idea and my opinion. Let them get trained. How can I come up with a YouTube account?
Yes.
I can invent, I can sell my things there, and we'll get bigger.
Okay. So coming back to the issue of social media, which is very, very pertinent. How do you think we can focus as young people to benefit from social media and help ourselves to grow? I've seen a number of friends of mine change their lives through social media, influencing. But not only that, but also social media marketing. They have their products, they are able to sell them online. But we also see social media helping a lot of young talents to be able to be noticed.
Surely.
Yeah, if you're a good singer, it's just a matter of getting a phone, record yourself, keep posting, do it consistently, and people are able to see you. And you see what is happening on TikTok and stuff. Anyone with a talent, you just record yourself. Previously, if it wasn't you getting a platform to go on TV for people to see you, no one would notice. Or if it's not about going to shows and big events, people will not notice you. But now you can just record a 1 minute or 30 seconds video, and millions of people are going to notice you, and any person who is going to lift you up will be able to get you from there. So how can we be able to utilize the media, majorly social media, for a better use, for us to be able to get transformed?
Thank you, Ivan. I should say, let's change our perception. Social media is a virtual world of its own. The reason why people are making so much money, you already talked about Elon Musk buying the Twitter, is because that is a world. He bought a world. There are people watching you out there, just as Ivan you've said, but my perception should change. First, to know that this is an entire world of its own. I need to influence those people. That's why we have influencers who realized. And I want to communicate even to those youths in villages to know now you don't need to be in Kampala to be noticed. Just as you've said. Can you better your life? It begins with knowing that I need to join this world, but for the better. What am I improving? You've talked about people going on, selling their business merchandise on social media. So to me, my perception is I need to join this world to change it. What am I bringing on board? I'm bringing bags online. I'm delivering them. I'm influencing for you in this world. I'm actually influencing you for a better in this world.
Basically, you look at it as a market.
Surely.
Where you're going to sell.
Surely.
Another thing, we understand that media set perceptions. Media at most times determines how people are going to think, and therefore might determine how people live. So we see a lot of young people being manipulated on social media. This can be through politics, through lifestyle, young people wanting to live a life that actually they don't need, that actually is not for their identity, and they end up losing themselves. And they are taken advantage of at most times. Why? Not everyone has the capacity to evaluate the information that is on social media and be able to say this is right or wrong. And therefore, if I come and convince people more than five times and say, you see Robert here, I can tell you, Robert is a lady. He just has beards and stuff, but he's a lady. If I continuously continue saying that, I can tell you there's people who are going to start believing me, and they start saying Robert is a lady. You understand? So how do we make sure that this social media, young people are not manipulated, taken advantage of, but also they don't lose themselves?
Thank you, Ivan. I think I should center this into identity. When you know that you come from Ubuntu background, you are an African, you are Ugandan, you are an American, because UBC is watched everywhere. you need to know that this is my identity, and your identity shall streamline your virtues. Virtues bring your audience.
Yes.
Who do I listen from? Who shouldn't I listen from? I think it's wise the youths to not listen to everybody. When you get to know that I am this is what I stand for, I don't listen to everyone. For example, me, I call myself a man of vision. I don't listen to everyone. I have an audience. For example, if it's news, which news should I listen to? Because everyone, because they have access to media, they can put up an article, and that's why you are bringing
an agenda.
Yes, that's why you're bringing in the issue of census. Yes, the government may have censored, but I think let us go back to the youths, because we are the consumers. Can I sit down and say, I'm not going to listen to you, regardless of whether you said this and all this, because this is what I believe in? And I think that will help us so much to eliminate certain information. And even in TVs, there are people say, I can't tune on that. Why? Because they're protecting their consumption. The perception we talked about. Let me tell you, listen to me for 3 minutes, 4 minutes when I speak, I'll be lured, or you'll be lured into my conversation. When you don't listen to me, the chances are you will not follow me. So I think let us regulate like that on how to know whom to get the information from.
Okay. I thank you so much for watching this show. I do believe Youth of Purpose is going to transform this nation by giving you a platform to come here and express yourselves and give your opinions in as far as what you think can make this country better. I thank you so much. My name is Ivan Tumukunde. Follow me on all my social media platforms, I_Tumukunde on Twitter, Tumukunde on Instagram, Tumukunde Ivan on LinkedIn, and Tumukunde on Facebook. I thank you so much for watching this show. See you next time.
Youth of Purpose.